So if you don't like swearing, fuck off. If you don't like religious jokes, God help you. And if you don't like sex jokes, blow me. Okay. And I should mention Valentine's Day is coming up, isn't it? Which is really nice. And my wife has actually brought me an early Valentine's Day gift. She has. It's polish it is, and it's for surfaces so shiny you can see a reflection in it. Worth giving a go, isn't it? Can you see your reflections in it? Oh, you can. Some people can. I'm glad some of you at least can see your reflection, because apparently it's always good to reflect on things, isn't it? But yeah, I should mention as well that I also spoke to my dad recently, and my dad told me an old wives' tale. And you've heard of old wives' tales, haven't you? The classic one is every time I don't believe in fairies, a fairy dies. Oh, there goes another one. But the one he told me was every time you tell a pun, a bit of your hair dies. Well, that's me when I'm truly fucked then. I mean, but I can't help it. I really can't, because I find the best jokes in life are a bit like the invisible man having a wank. They just come out of nowhere. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I am balding. I'm bald. In fact, I use a special shampoo now. It's called Why Bother. And I once auditioned for a L'Oreal advert, but I didn't get the part because it's worthless. But I'm optimistic about the baldness. You know, I just thought, oh well, hair today, gone tomorrow. But there we are. And actually, I should mention a few things about myself before I begin. Firstly, I am an optimist. In fact, I always knew I was an optimist ever since I found out my blood type was B positive. And also that my name is Richard, by the way. Hello, my name is Richard. And I know what you're thinking about, right? I know what you're thinking, because as soon as I say my name Richard, a certain four-letter word comes to mind, doesn't it? A certain four-letter word with the letters D, I, and K in it. Yes, I know, I've heard it before. That word is, of course, kind. But, and also, I mean, I should mention that I'm also up the nickname of Fit Rich as well, as you've probably seen from the advertisements. And I want to be, and I'd like to think it's by nature as well as by name, because that's been one of my New Year's resolutions, is to lose weight. Because you know you're in trouble when you go into a clothes shop and you're asked, and you're not your ass. Yeah, my ass often talks to me a lot, but that's not what my joke was going towards. But I'm going to put my ass behind me, which is usually where it is. But anyway, back up. It's okay. So, because it's a bad thing when you go into a clothes shop and your wife asks you what bra size you are. Double D. But also, like, and the thing is as well, like, you know, I used to go to the gym in school over there in St. Kenneth, and you know, I used to be a great tap dancer. I used to be a really great tap dancer. Tell if I'll learn to sing. But some people have also suggested, Rich, why not try sports? But look, I've tried rugby, I've tried football, I've tried cricket, and it never works for me. Honestly, it never ever works for me. You can try skipping the adverts and it still never works for me. Some people say, we can say weightlifting. Yeah, mine usually, you know. And actually I did a gig in Swansea and there was a hen night in there. If the inflatable penis didn't give it away, but basically there was a hen night over there, and I went up on a gig in Swansea and she said, Jesus Christ, your tits are bigger than mine. Well, at least in my defence, mine are real, but anyway, yeah, so I like to live by my name of Fit Rich. Another thing you should know about me is that I was born actually in the Caerphilly Miners. So Caerphilly I have a connection because I was actually born in Caerphilly, in the Caerphilly Miners in the year of 1989. And many people have said to me, "Oh, Rich, do you remember the 80s? Oh, great times, the 80s. Do you remember the 80s?" Yes. Considering I was a sperm for most of it, I have very fond memories of the 80s. In fact, you can literally say I came from the 80s. But there you go. And, but also, I mean, I find that, I remember, like, I was told stories of my mum. She used to hold me in her arms, look in my face and say, "Rich, dear Rich, you're 36 years old now, you're far too old for this kind of thing, you get off now." But also, and as I've been getting older, I've been curious as well to know about my family as well. Like, I mean, where I came from, I'm sure lots of people do. Do you get curious about your family sometimes? Like, where you come from, things like that?
Over there.
Oh, you do? Oh, you came, oh yeah, there you go. So,
she's my mum.
oh, okay. So, some people look further than others of where they came from. But I've been curious about this, and I actually asked my mum if she could tell me about my forefathers. And she said when she met all four of them, she was knackered at the end of the night. Although I did get more answers from my dad about some of my family history and what my family did, and he said, "Well, do you know, I used to work in a prison." Oh, really? Oh, what do you do? 25 years. I also have an anti-social, but we don't talk that much. Actually, I'll tell you an interesting fact. Way back, a couple of centuries back, some of my ancestors used to be sailors who used to work at the ports in things like Portsmouth and Southampton, that sort of area. So I'm proud to say right now, to you all, at the Angel Pub tonight, that I've got a lot of seamen behind me. And, but yeah, but Caerphilly I have quite a connection with, because also I used to, actually I used to go to the job centre as well in Caerphilly. Like, anyone been to the job centre? Thanks, thank you. I'm glad you got that at the right time there. that kind of sums up my experience at the job centre. Richard, you're supposed to make other people laugh, not them laugh, make you laugh. Okay, just a second. Anyway, I used to go to the job centre in Caerphilly, and they used to suggest really stupid jobs, like, I think they actually suggested to me to work in a urinal, but I think they were just taking the piss. He asked if I could be a toilet attendant. I thought, sure, give me a vindaloo and I'll attend any toilet you like. Also, like, yeah, but one thing I noticed as well, they when you do assessments as well, you have to like prove that you do assessments sometimes, and they ask you questions like, can you walk over a line? Can you walk on a line? Can you do a line? And all those questions, like, So the best one was, this is the best one. Can you count from 1 to 4? Oh, geez, that's a hard one, isn't it? Like, can you count from 1 to 4? Can I use my fingers? Use my fingers? I think you can use your fingers to count, can't you? So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God! I can count to 4, everyone! I can count to 4. So after I lost my benefits, I became a comedian. So, but I should also mention as well, the reason I had to go through that was because I actually should have mentioned this earlier, but I actually do have autism. Now, I don't need to mention this, but I just thought I should mention it so you feel guilty every time you don't laugh at any of my jokes tonight. Oh, thank you. No, I'm not bothered about it. But to be more precise, I actually have a form of autism called Asperger's syndrome. Or, yeah, I've heard, yes, I've actually heard it being pronounced like that, Asperger's. That's not nice, the Asperger's. I mean, the thing is though, let me, just to avoid confusion, let me put it out there to you. Asperger's is a form of autism. Asperger's is a new and interesting sexual position. Don't Google that. But yeah, and I used to go to, and also when I go through autism as well, I find my mind's different. I interpret things differently sometimes as well. For instance, until I realised they were a band, I thought AC/DC was just Boris Johnson and Donald Trump's best attempt at the alphabet. And I wondered as well, would a chicken omelette be considered a family reunion? To be fair, I often lose the vegan audience with that one, but actually, out of interest, any vegans here tonight? No, they've probably gone after saying that joke. But the reason is, I should mention this story before we carry on, because I actually went with my wife to a supermarket, and I'm not a vegan, but I've eaten vegan things, and they're nice, but I went to a vegan market, and there were these brand of sausages, vegan sausages, and the brand is called, and I swear to God this is true, you can look it up afterwards if you like, Little Willies. And my maturity level just went straight down the drain there, you know, I was just pointing out to my wife, going, Little Willies, you see Little Willies, you see Little Willies. And my wife said, yeah, every time you stand naked in front of the mirror, but also, like, you know, and also, you know, I used to go to school there in St. Kenneth, in the school over there. And I remember I used to have a friend in school there, and until I went into acting and comedy, I was going to do a business selling Viagra with him, but faced stiff competition. And he actually had a few times, he's been to the hospital a few times, like, but the most recent time he went to the hospital for a vasectomy, and that took balls. And second time he went to the hospital was he had an overdose of Viagra, and his philosophy was what doesn't kill you makes you harder. But he also gives me, and also I'm a sucker for facts. I love random facts. I do as well. And, you know, he gives me random facts. He does. Apparently, there is somewhere in the world there is actually a penis museum. And it looks like you've been there by the sounds of it. Can I ask, what did you get up to there? Or what got up there? I don't know.
I stood these by a male penis and took a photo, and everything was about, what were you, 14 at the time?
What was Wales?
I stood beside a whale penis.
What was the whale's name? Moby Dick? But so as you can confirm, there is actually a penis museum in, I think it's in like Sweden? Iceland, yeah, thank you. Iceland. In Iceland there is a penis museum. And the first thought came to my mind was when did it get erected? But I imagine as well, it probably had its critics, you know, it had some criticism. Some people called it a dick move, but you know. And also, going on the basis of, because I'm a sucker for museums, I love museums, but I'm a sucker for museums, so I also found out there's also somewhere in Eastern Europe somewhere, there's actually a vagina museum. And my first thought came to mind was who got invited to the big opening. But anyway, I was talking about the friend, and I got to it the first time I met him, because it was in school, and it was in the reception of Welsh class, and I love Welsh, I love learning Welsh. Because, and especially loved, and I know a little bit, like, because we were learning about different beds in Welsh we were, like, gwely single is a single bed, gwely double, double bed, gwely dŵr, water bed. And one person suggested a vibrator bed. And the teacher was really confused, like, what do you want a vibrator bed for? And someone at the back said, because you haven't got anyone to vibrate it for him. But anyway, first time I met him, whilst teacher was about to call the register, and I saw this friend of mine for the first time, he was like, oh God, oh God, oh God. I was like, what's the matter? I got a really stupid name. What's your name? Isaac. Isaac, that's not a stupid name. There are great Isaacs. There's Isaac Newton, for example, isn't there? The guy with the apple falling in his head and gravity and that. And there's Isaac Hayes, the guy who did Shaft and Chocolate Salty Balls, which, realising if you put that in the same sentence doesn't sound good. But, you know, just like, there's some many famous great Isaacs. You know, Isaac's not a stupid name. And then the teacher called to the register. Karen? Absent. Nikki? Does I know you? Isaac Cox? Isaac Cox? Nikki, you know Isaac Cox, don't you?
What's it?
But yeah, but I gotta say as well that I gotta say the time I finished living in Caerphilly also started with my love life it did, and it's basically because I was doing a gig. I remember I met my wife at a gig, and it's a bit of a love story, and I think it's worth bringing up because Valentine's Day is coming up, and they say, you know, if music, and the famous bard once said, if music be the food of love, then Justin Bieber is the gone-off leftovers on Valentine's Day. or something like that. You know, just, but yeah, but I met my wife. It was quite romantic now. Like, I mean, I remember she was in the audience and I was there doing stand-up. And I remember, like, the first time I went up to her and asked her if she wanted to go out with me. And she said, that's a good joke. But things happened, things changed, and eventually I'm proud to say that we got married, we got married. And I should tell you about this story as well, because yeah, my wedding, gosh, it was so emotional that even the wedding cake was in tears. And I actually got married in a castle called Craigano's Castle. Anyone been there? No? No one know of it? No?
I was at your wedding.
Yeah, you were, actually. One person knows. Well, if you don't know Craigano's Castle, I should probably explain. I'm just checking. Have you heard of a place called Danarogov Caves, by any chance? Okay, it's the dinosaur park, isn't it? Yeah. Well, Craigano's is about a very short distance away from Danarogov Caves. So, technically, I got married in a castle near a dinosaur park. I was tempted to ask a T-Rex to be my best man, but I thought better of it. You know, like, it wouldn't work so well, would it? But, you know, do you have the ring? I'm not sure to tell you about my ring, not that one. This wedding ring, you know, because it actually paraphrases all the rings it does, and it's in Welsh as well, funny enough. And it's says one ring to show our love, one ring to bind it. Oh, you soppy bastard. But and I know what you're thinking, because paraphrasing Lord of the Rings, I bet you're thinking, as soon as I put this on my finger, I'm going to be possessed by the power of the ring. Let me tell you, that's a load of old bollocks, precious, yes, relax, bollocks, relax, bollocks, audience, delicious, very much. Audiences are our friend. You don't have any friends, nobody likes you.
I can confirm it's exactly like his wedding day.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what came over me then. So I think maybe this is a good time to probably go on to the quiz now. Do you think it's a good time to go for the quiz?